Today's lesson, we're going to talk about how to convert from one unit to the other. We're going to talk about lengths and weights and capacity. So let's look at the lengths. You will see all the given important units comparison. And we're going to use that to find out how we're going to change from one unit to the other. Okay, so we have example 1. How many inches are in 3½ feet? So we're going to do the changes in the feet to inches. So what we will do is first, the unit given is in the mixed number. So we need to first change to improper fractions. So that will give you 2 times 3. 6 plus 1 will be 7/2 feet. And then you're going to multiply this by comparison. And when you're multiplying the comparison, make sure you will get rid of the feet and leave your solution with inches. I need a space, right? So inches. It means I have to have inches on the numerator and feet on the denominator, right? So that the numerator feet will cancel out the denominator feet, so we can get rid of the feet. So it means 1 foot is equals to 12 inches. So that's how we're going to decide which fraction form you're going to multiply. Is it going to be inch over feet multiplying or feet over inches multiplying? Whatever the unit you're trying to get rid of, that's on the numerator. You're going to multiply that unit on the denominator so that we'll get rid of each other, where you will have only inches remains, right? So once you decide what fraction form you're going to multiply, you want it to reduce and then multiply. 2 goes into 12 6 times. So basically what you're doing is multiplying 7 times 6. So that's going to give you 42 inches. Now let's look at some word problems. So read the word problem and see if you understand what they're asking. And pretty much this example 2 is asking for what's given is 15 feet of border trim in a living room, 30 feet border trim in a bedrooms, and 26 feet border trim in a dining room. So this is given. But then what they're asking is how many yard of border trim does she need? So this is separately given from the different room, but they wanted to find out the total, right? But the unit was given with the feet, but they're asking you to find with the yard. So let's find the total feet first. So you're going to add those units. So when you're adding them up, you end up getting 71 feet. But then they want you to find out how many yard total, right? So you will do 21 feet times the unit comparison. So you wanted to get yard, so yard unit will be on the numerator and then feet should be on denominator. So this feet unit will be able to get rid of. And we know that 1 yard is equals to 3 feet. So when we multiply that, we end up getting 71 yard over 3. This gives you 3 goes into 71, 23 times 2/3 remains yard. So that will be the total yard you're going to need to trim all those 3 rooms. Let's look at one more problem. So you wanted to pause this video to make sure you read the problems and see how far you understand. Okay, so then once you read the problem, you kind of understand that a landscaper is trying to put the artificial turf, and the dimension of the football field is going to be 120 yard by 50 yard. In order to put artificial turf on this dimension football field, you need to be able to find out the area first. So finding an area of dimension given 120 long and 50 yard wide, you're going to multiply them, right? Which you end up getting 6,000 square yard. But then the supplier who sells the artificial turf to the landscaper, they sell by feet, square feet. So we need to be able to convert this square yard into the square feet. So what we need to do is you're going to multiply this by feet over yard. So you'll be able to get rid of the yard. And we know the comparison of feet and yard, right? It will be 1 yard for 3 feet. But what you know, by multiplying this 1 units, will not be able to get rid of square yard. You only have 1 yard, and here is 2 yard units. So one more multiplication needed is 3 feet over 1 yard. So this way, you're going to have 1 yard, 2 yard. When you multiply this 2, it will be square yard. So this square yard will get rid of this square yard because this is on the numerator, this 2 is on the denominator. So that way, or let's write it in the multiplication form so maybe you can see that, right? So this is going to be same as 6,000 square yard times, when you multiply these 2 fractions, you get 9 square feet over 1 times 1 is 1 square yard, right? That way that you'll be able to get rid of square yard. Your solution will only have square feet. And now look like you're multiplying 6,000 times 9, where you will end up getting 54,000. So that will be the area with the given units. Now we're going to look at weight examples. The same thing as what we've been doing, is just instead of links, we're going to look at the weights. So we have a pounds compared to ounce, we have tons and pounds comparison. Let's look at the example 1. Look like the first example is trying to find ounce from the pounds. And the pounds given is the mixed fractions. So let's change that to the improper fractions. So it will be 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1 is 9 over 4. And 9 over 4 pounds, we wanted to change to ounce. So ounce should be what's on the numerator, and pounds should be on denominator, and comparison will be 16 ounce over 1 pound, so that these pounds will be canceling out each other, where only ounce unit will be remains. Once you know you have right multiplications, let's simplify. 4 goes into 16 4 times. Basically, you're multiplying by 9 times 4 on the numerator, so you get 36 ounce. Denominator is 1, so there will be no fraction form of the solutions. So that's what you're going to do, and like we did the links, right? Let's see. Maybe we can look at two word problem again. So again, pause yourself and read the problems and make sure you understand what they're asking. You do not have to understand 100% sometime. You can only understand 70% and start writing down what you have. So this problem basically, the people can throw maximum of 30 pounds of trash, and last week 140 people throw the trash maximum, right? And they wanted to find out how many tons of trash was thrown, right? So the first thing you wanted to do is exactly what will be the amount the trash was thrown from 140. So basically you're going to multiply, find the total of the trash in pounds, then we wanted to change it to tons, right? That's what we're doing. So find the total, you're going to multiply 30 times 140. When you multiply this two, it will get 4,200, and this is going to be unit of pounds. But then they wanted to find the tons, so you're going to multiply by the fraction comparing tons versus pounds. So at the end, you will only have tons remains. Pounds was canceled. And we know the tons with pounds comparison is 1 tons is equals to 2,000 pounds. So you're going to divide. We can get rid of 0. So basically you're doing 42 divided by 20. 42 divided by 20. And when you reduce that, that's going to be 21 over 10. And when you change that to mixed number, it will be 1 over 10 tons. Okay, so let's look at one more word problem here. Again, pause it and read the problem and see if you understand what they're asking before we go any further or you watch further. Okay, so this problem's what they're saying is the first ounce or less is going to be 44 cents. After that, each ounce is going to be 17 cents. They want to know how much the package will be if it's 2 pounds and 3 ounces, right? So first thing you wanted to do is changing this into the ounce, because the price it's given, it's all based on the ounce, right? So we wanted to change to 2 pounds to ounce and add it into the 3 pounds you already have, and then figure out the pricing, right? So let's do the converting first. So 2 pounds multiplied by 16 ounce over 1 pound. So that way the unit will cancel out. It means you're basically multiplying 2 times 16, give you 32 ounce. But again, you had 3 ounces before. So when you're adding them, your total ounce of 2 pounds 3 ounces is going to be 35 ounces. And then out of that 35, the first ounce, they're asking to pay for 44 cents. The rest of them, so if you take 1 out from 35, it will be 34. They're going to charge 17 cents. So if you wanted to figure that out, you need to do multiplications, right? So 1 times 44.44 plus 34 times 0.17 to figure out the total amount. The first multiplication will be just 0.44, 34 times 0.17. You will end up getting 5.78. And when you add them, the total price will be $6.22. So that's how much you're going to pay for 2 pounds and 3 ounce weight package. Now I have 2 more similar problems. So the first one is trying to change 72 ounce to pounds. So I will do 72 ounce times pounds over ounce then, right? Because you wanted to leave pounds at the end and trying to get rid of ounce that you have on the numerator. And comparison is 1 pound is 16 ounce, right? It means you're doing basically 72 over 16 pounds. This gives you, when you reduce, 18 over 4, which is 9 over 2. I mean, just reduce all the way, right? If you wanted to write it in a decimal form, this is going to be 2 goes into 9 4 times, 1/2 remains, which is going to be 5.5, right? So you can answer with the fraction form, decimal form, either way. We just wanted to make sure you know how to convert units here, right? Let's do one more example with the weight. So again, read the problem, pause the video, read the problems, and see if you understand the problem. So basically, what they're doing is they have the weight for tuna and shark, and tuna weight is given with the pounds, shark weight is given with tons. They wanted to compare these two, right, and see how much more weight the shark will have, right, within the pounds unit, right? So what I need to do is first changing these tons to the pounds and compare it with the pounds weight of the tuna. So let's do that. So I have 2 1/2 tons need to be changed to pounds. So let's change to improper. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1, 5 over 2 tons. You mean in order to get rid of tons, you need to multiply tons unit on denominator, and we're trying to get pounds. If this is real life and you don't have any comparison of the units, you can just Google the difference, right? And we have a chart given, and we know that 2,000 pounds is equals to 1 tons, right? Let's get rid of the units so I know that I have the right multiplications to find the pounds. And look like I will get rid of 2, and that will become 1,000, right? So 5 times 1,000, you get 5,000 over 1. So you have shark weight is 5,000 pounds, tuna is 1,800. So when you do the comparison, you do the subtractions, right? So when you subtract, you get 3,200. So you will say 3,200 pounds more. Next sections, we're going to talk about capacities. This is a comparison of capacity volumes. The first question is asking you to convert 3/4 gallon into pints. And when we're looking at the given units, you have a gallon that's equals to quarts, but we don't have a gallon that's equals to pint. So we need to go through more than one fraction multiplications. First multiplications, you will probably do gallon versus quarts. Then we wanted to change quarts to the pint. So we do need the two multiplications of fractions. First, let's change this mixed number into improper fractions. Mixed number into improper fractions, we have 3/4 gallons is equivalent to 11 gallons over 4. Where do I get that 11? My 11 comes from 4 times, so denominator times the whole number plus the numerator. So that's how you're going to change mixed number into improper fractions. And then you multiply. So this is given. I just changed to improper fractions into mixed number into improper fractions. Now let's get rid of gallons. So since the gallon is on the numerator, I need to multiply gallon on denominator. So it will be 1 gallon changed to 4 quarts. So this gallon will disappear. Numerator gallon cancel out denominator gallons. Now you need to get rid of quarts, so you're going to multiply quarts and then pint. You do have a quart converting to pint, which is 1 quart is equals to 2 pints, so that's what you're going to multiply. Pint goes to numerator, so that quarts will cancel out the quarts from the numerator to denominator. So all the unit cancels out. Solution of unit that you needed will be the one only remaining. So basically what you have remain now without the units, you have 11/4 times 4/1 times 2/1. Multiplication of fractions, you wanted to reduce fractions before you multiply. So common factor of 4 on denominator, cancel out the numerator, 1. Look like all denominator being 1, it will be whole number. Now you're doing 11 times 1 times 2, which gives you 22. And your unit is going to be pint. Let's erase that, 22 pints. Let's look at example 2. Example 2, so the problem is asking to how many cups of lemonade will she have. So we wanted to bring unit into cups. What it's given, it's a holds 1 gallon and the other holds 2 quarts. So changing 1 gallon and 2 quarts into total of how many cups? So whatever that 1 quarts convert into cups and 1 gallon convert into cups plus 2 quarts convert into cups will be what you're looking for. You're going to add those two up. So first thing you wanted to do is converting 1 gallon to the cup. In order to do that, you're going to multiply by cups over gallons. And then unit comparison gave me 1 gallon is equal to 16 cup. That way that gallon on the numerator given will cancel out the gallon on denominator. So that's why you multiply 16 cups over 1 gallon instead of 1 gallon over 16 cups, right? Because given gallon was on the numerator, so you wanted to put gallon on denominator so that those two units will cancel out each other. And only gives you solution units. This means you're multiplying 1 times 16, so it will be 16 cups. Now let's try to convert 2 quarts into cup. And quarts compared to cup, it will be 1 quart is equals to cup, and we're trying to look for cup. So the cups goes to the numerator and 1 quart is going to be denominator. So numerator quarts will cancel out denominator quart. So only remaining with cups units. This means you're doing 2 times 4 on the numerator and 1 times 1 on denominator. So this gives you 8 over 1, which is 8 cups. So they wanted to know how many total cups of lemonade. So what do? You add them. When you add, you will get 16 plus 8, which is 24 cups of lemonade. Last exercise we have for this section is trying to see if we be able to put 24 cups of chilies into 5 quarts pots and 2 gallons pots. Your option is chili will not fit in to either of the pots, or chili can fit into either pot, or C, chili will fit into only 5 quarts pot, or D, chili will fit into only 2 gallons pot. So what you need to do is trying to convert 24 cups into the quarts or 2 gallon into the cups and see if it will fit, right? So let's try the first one. Let's see if we can change 24 cups into quarts. So we're going to multiply by fraction of comparison of cups versus quarts. And cups will be on denominator since the unit you wanted to get rid of is on the numerator. So you will do cups, 4 cups goes on denominator, and 1 quart will be on the numerator. And this means you're doing 24 times 1 over 4. And the 4 being denominator and 24 being the numerator, find the common factor 4. So 4 goes into 24 6 times. This is 6. So you're doing 6 times 1. You get 6, which is going to be 6 quarts. So 24 cups is equivalent to 6 cups. It means it will not fit into 5 quarts. because it's too big. You have to have 6 quarts. So that means C is not right. That means B is also not right, because it will not fit into both, right? And then let's change to see if 2 gallons, that's what it's left, is equal to how many quarts? Because we already have quarts, right? So 2 gallons should be bigger than 6 quarts. So let's see, 2 gallons. You're going to multiply by something over gallon. And the unit we're trying to convert is the quarts. So it should be quarts on the numerator. That way that numerator gallon will cancel out the denominator gallon. And we know it's 1 gallon is equals to 4 quarts. And look like you don't have any same common factor, numerator versus denominator. You just need to multiply numerator 2 times numerator 4, which gives you 8. So 2 gallon is equals to 8 quarts. What we have is 24 cups, which is equivalent to 6 quarts. So 2 gallon is going to be enough. So your solution is going to be D. Right? And that's how you're going to solve unit comparison with values.